What happens when a network crime drama dares to blur the lines between good and evil and ends up redefining the entire genre in the process? In 1987, a bold show arrived on CBS that tossed out the case of the weak formula and replaced it with something far riskier. It was stylish, intelligent, and often brutal, but behind the scenes, the real story was even more complicated. So what happened? Let's find out. This is the untold story of Wiseguy. Wiseguy was the brainchild of veteran television producer Stephen J. Cannell, co-created with Frank Lupo. It began as an experiment in serialized storytelling, something network TV in the 80s rarely attempted. Cannell was inspired after reading about a US government program involving deep cover operatives. The psychological weight of going undercover for extended periods fascinated him, especially the idea that an agent might be seduced by the very criminal world they were sent to infiltrate. This idea became the core of Wiseguy, a show centered not just on action or investigation, but on the moral compromises required to live a double life. Cannell envisioned a structure where each storyline played out across multiple episodes, building up a layered relationship between the agent and the criminal antagonist. For nearly 5 years, he pitched the series to networks, pushing the concept of serialized arcs instead of one-off cases. But the industry was resistant. Executives doubted whether audiences would stick with a continuous narrative. It wasn't until the mid-80s that CBS Entertainment chief Kim LeMasters backed the idea. The show followed Vincent Terranova, an agent for the FBI's Organized Crime Bureau. To establish his cover, Vinny served a fake 18-month prison term, building a reputation that would allow him to embed himself inside organized crime. Each assignment saw him take on a new target from within, infiltrating, gaining trust, and ultimately dismantling entire criminal organizations. For the lead role of Vinny Terranova, Cannell chose Ken Wall, an actor with limited television experience but had quite a few film credits. Cannell had to convince the network to approve Wall, who was known for an unpredictable personality. Despite these concerns, he believed Wall's authentic, rough-edged demeanor was perfect for the role of Vinny. He brought a working-class intensity to the character, portraying him as a regular guy in jeans rather than a slick federal agent in a suit. Jonathan Banks was cast as Frank McPike, Vinny's no-nonsense FBI handler. He infused McPike with a dry, sarcastic wit, which the writers embraced and incorporated into the character's development. Jim Burns joined the cast as Daniel Lifeguard Burrows, the communications expert who served as Vinny's eyes and ears from afar. Each major story arc introduced a new set of supporting characters, often played by notable guest stars. In the first arc, Ray Sharkey delivered what was described as a bravura performance as Atlantic City mob boss Sonny Steelgrave. The second arc introduced Kevin Spacey in one of his earliest standout roles as Mel Prophet, alongside Joan Severance as his sister. Later seasons featured a rotating cast of guest stars including Jerry Lewis, Ron Silver, Stanley Tucci, and many more.
My audition for Wiseguy was somewhat complicated. I hadn't had that much work in television. I'd done...
Upon its debut, Wiseguy received strong critical acclaim for its originality and smart writing. Reviews highlighted the show's unique blend of gritty crime action with genuine emotional stakes. Variety, reviewing the pilot, praised Ken Wall's arrival on TV, and noted that beneath the bursts of violence, Wiseguy conveyed a humanity and depth not typical of the genre. Critics applauded Cannell's achievement. As one TV reference put it, when Cannell gets it right, he somehow manages to combine action, adventure, poignancy into a form that a mass audience can relate to and critics can applaud, calling the writing top-notch and the acting far above average. The series garnered industry recognition as well. Wiseguy was nominated for an Emmy Award for Best Drama Series. Ken Wall received an Emmy nomination and won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Drama, while Jonathan Banks also earned an Emmy nomination for his supporting role. Life behind the camera on Wiseguy was marked by ambition, injuries, and escalating conflicts. Ken Wall suffered serious onset injuries during the second season. While filming, he was accidentally run over by a camera dolly, tearing his Achilles tendon and multiple ankle ligaments. Wall suffered a similar injury the following season. He offered to keep working in a limited capacity, suggesting he could handle 2 days of work per episode while healing. However, members of the production team began to doubt the severity of his injuries. Wall later recalled that producers did not believe his doctors or himself, and suspected he was trying to quit the show. The situation grew tense enough that studio lawyers threatened legal action if he did not fulfill his contract. Feeling pressured, Wall wrote a letter by hand stating he would finish the season but wanted out afterward, thinking it would satisfy the producers' lawyers. He later claimed that he never actually intended to leave the show permanently, but this letter was later used by Cannell's camp as proof that Wall had asked to be released. Creative clashes also emerged between Wall and Cannell. Cannell's vision of concluding each story arc by writing out popular villains was a controversial approach internally. After the first arc, Wall strongly opposed killing off Ray Sharkey's Sonny Steelgrave. Wall loved working with Sharkey and told Cannell, "You drop Ray and we're done." Many crew members and CBS executives were also uneasy about dropping a successful character so quickly. Cannell held firm, insisting that the strength of Wiseguy came from reinventing itself with new arcs, instead of letting a single villain dominate. Sonny was written out as planned, and although this upset the staff and Wall at first, the risk paid off with the success of the following Mel Prophet storyline. By the third season, Wall's relationship with Cannell had grown more strained. Wall later said that Cannell expressed dissatisfaction with the show's recent direction and planned to take it over creatively. Cannell suggested they part ways, telling Wall it would be better to shake hands and walk away. Wall agreed, saying he did not want to stay where he was not wanted. The conflict even drew the attention of viewers for quality television. Its president, Dorothy Swanson, initially sent out press releases criticizing Wall's removal, quoting his words about how close the show was to him and how he felt unwanted by producers. Swanson later retracted her statement at Cannell's request after admitting she had not been given all the facts and had been caught between opposing sides. CBS announced that Wiseguy would go on hiatus for retooling and return later that year with a new lead, Stephen Bauer, playing a character named Michael Santana. Season 4 moved ahead without Wall, but it came with major upheavals. Virtually the entire writing and producing team left after Season 3, forcing a total creative reset. Cannell hired Peter Lance, formerly of Miami Vice, as the new showrunner to oversee the Bauer-led version of Wiseguy. CBS pushed for a less cerebral tone and more action-driven plots to broaden the audience. Despite these efforts, the changes did not save the series. Ken Wall's departure removed the emotional center of the show, while Jonathan Banks and Jim Burns stayed on as regulars, and Cecil Hoffman joined as federal prosecutor Hilary Stein. The later episodes had a different feel. By late 1990, Wiseguy was facing almost impossible odds. Its first episode that season received very low ratings, prompting CBS to put the show on immediate production hiatus. The Los Angeles Times reported that Wiseguy was threatened with cancellation after its first low-rated opening episode this season, and that filming had already been halted once in the hope that ratings might rebound. When they did not, CBS decided to pull the plug. Wiseguy returned as an ABC reunion TV movie on May 2nd, 1996, with Ken Wall, Jonathan Banks, and Jim Burns back in their roles. In 2011, NBC developed a modern reboot with a script from Alex Carey, but the project stalled and was shelved. Most recently, producers Sophie Cassidy and Jeff Katz have a feature film in development as of mid-2025. It remains in development. Though Wiseguy never became a top hit, it proved influential beyond its modest viewership. Television historians credit it with breaking new ground for serialized, long-form storytelling on network TV. Some have compared Wiseguy to The Sopranos for its depiction of the inner workings of organized crime and its willingness to humanize the gangsters.
Previously on Wiseguy.
Kenzo is in love, and I want to be able to talk to him without you jabrones thinking that we're hatching a plot.
Wiseguy reached home video in uneven steps. For years, rewatching largely meant syndicated reruns. Mill Creek Entertainment began issuing DVDs in Region 4 in August 2008 with complete Season 1, followed by Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4, released through 2009. In some overseas markets that same year, Seasons 2 to 4 were issued by Beyond Home Entertainment. These early sets left out the 7-episode Dead Dog Records arc from Season 2 due to music issues, so the series was not available complete on DVD. In March 2010, Mill Creek released Wiseguy the Collector's Edition, a 13-disc set containing 67 episodes from all 4 seasons, again excluding the Dead Dog arc. A complete release arrived in August 2022. Visual Entertainment issued Wiseguy the Complete Collection, a 14-disc DVD set that includes the entire series, including the long-missing arc. The show has also appeared digitally, with the series available on Prime Video. With the show now complete on disc and easy to find online, the question still stands: what happened? The answer is Wiseguy pushed network TV into darker, more adult territory, earned respect for it, and lost the numbers game. It ended early, but the influence stayed. If that taste for risk speaks to you, come with us to 1985 for Stingray, where a nameless fixer trades favors for justice. That story starts next. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content.